Hello everyone, and welcome to Story-Driven English, where we explore the narratives that shape our world. Today's story asks a crucial question. What happens when the worlds of politics and technology collide? When a former president and a billionaire entrepreneur forge an unlikely alliance? We're exploring the complex, fascinating, and at times bizarre relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. We'll trace their journey from bitter rivals to powerful partners, examining the political machinations, the business deals, and the ideological forces that brought them together. And we'll ask, what does this alliance mean for the future of America and the world? The billionaire and the builder. A tale of two titans, Twitter tantrums, and the unlikeliest of alliances. A political soap opera in multiple acts, our story opens. Not in a galaxy far, far away, but in the slightly less glamorous realm of social media, circa 2015, Donald J. Trump, the real estate magnate with a penchant for superlatives and self-promotion, is embarking on his improbable journey to the White House. Elon Musk, the tech visionary who wants to save humanity by colonizing Mars and making electric cars sexy, is, shall we say, unimpressed. In fact, he's downright critical. He publicly questions Trump's character, suggesting he's not exactly presidential material. It's the political equivalent of swiping left on Tinder. Act I, the brief encounter. 2016, 2017, fast forward to December 14, 2016, Trump, defying the odds and most pollsters, is president. In a move that surprises many, Musk, along with other tech leaders like Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook, accepts an invitation to Trump Tower for a tech summit. It's a show of unity, a gesture of goodwill, a chance to, well, nobody's quite sure what it is, but it looks good on camera. Musk even joins Trump's Strategic and Policy Forum and a manufacturing jobs initiative. He's playing the role of the pragmatic businessman, willing to work with a new administration for the greater good, or, as some cynics might suggest, to protect his company's interests. But this fragile truce is shattered on June 1, 2017. Trump, in a move that shocks the world and delights his base, announces that the U.S. will withdraw from the Paris Agreement. On climate change, Musk, a vocal advocate for environmental sustainability, is having none of it. He immediately resigns from both advisory councils, tweeting his disapproval with the force of a Falcon 9 rocket launch. It's a very public, very dramatic breakup, complete with the obligatory, "It's not you, it's me." And your stance on global warming statement, Act 2, the War of Words, 2017-2022. The years that follow are a period of escalating tensions, a Cold War fought on Twitter and in the media. Trump, never one to shy away from a fight, takes pot at Musk's businesses, calling him a bullshit artist and mocking the government subsidies that Tesla and SpaceX receive. Musk, in turn, throws shade at Trump's policies and leadership style, subtly and sometimes not so subtly, suggesting that he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, the low point or high point, depending on your perspective. Comes in July 2020. A meeting at the White House, intended to smooth things over, purportedly devolves into a shouting match. According to various accounts, Musk unleashes a torrent of insults at Trump, questioning his intelligence and generally behaving in a manner unbecoming of a polite dinner guest. It's said to be related to Musk's choice of Mexico for a Tesla factory. It's the kind of scene that would make even the most seasoned reality TV producer blush. The feud continues to simmer. In July 2022, at a rally in Anchorage, Alaska, Trump ramps up the rhetoric, publicly trashing Musk and his crappy rockets. Musk responds with a tweet, suggesting it's time for Trump to sail into the sunset. It's a brutal exchange, a digital duel fought with memes and emojis. Act 3, the Great Reconciliation, 202-22024, and then cue dramatic music. Something extraordinary happens, sometime in late 2022. Around the time Musk completes his tumultuous acquisition of Twitter, the ice begins to thaw. There are whispers of phone calls, private meetings, and a growing sense of shared purpose. What caused this sudden change of heart? Several factors are likely at play. The woke mind virus. Musk becomes increasingly vocal about his concerns about what he perceives as excessive political correctness and censorship on social media platforms. He finds common ground with Trump and other conservatives who believe that big tech is biased against them, The 2024 election. Trump is gearing up for another presidential run, and he needs all the allies he can get. Musk, with his massive following and deep pockets, is a valuable asset. Mutual dislike for current admin Musk, in particular, has had his issues, and some very public spats with the Biden administration, which further pushed him into the arms of Trump. Shared enemies. Both men have a long list of adversaries in the media, the political establishment, and the corporate world. They find common cause in fighting against what they see as a corrupt and unfair system. By 2023, the transformation is complete. Musk is openly praising Trump, defending him against his critics, and using his Twitter platform to amplify his message. He's no longer just a reluctant participant in the political process. He's a full-fledged partisan. The culmination of this unlikely bromance comes during the 2024 election cycle. Musk, through various super PACs and other channels, reportedly becomes a major financial backer of Trump's campaign. He's not just writing checks, he's actively campaigning, using his influence to sway voters and shape the narrative. Epilogue. The odd couple on so, the billionaire and the builder, once bitter rivals, are now friends. Allies, partners, in a grand, unpredictable political experiment. The exact nature of their relationship remains a subject of intense speculation. Are they driven by genuine affection, shared ideology, or simply cold, hard political calculation? Is this a lasting alliance, or a temporary marriage of convenience? Only time will tell. Act 4. The Golden Age of Giving, 2024. The year money talks and tweets. We pick up our story in the white-hot heat of the 2024 election cycle. The air is thick with anticipation, accusations, and the unmistakable scent of political desperation. Donald Trump, the seasoned showman, is back in the ring, seeking a return to the Oval Office. But this time, he has a new, and somewhat unexpected, weapon in his arsenal: Elon Musk, the tech mogul with a penchant for the unpredictable. July 2024, the month everything changes. An alleged assassination attempt on Trump. A plot twist so outlandish it feels lifted from a Tom Clancy novel, reportedly shakes Musk to his core. Or, perhaps, it simply provides the perfect narrative for a dramatic shift in allegiance. The truth, as always, is elusive. Whatever the precise motivation, Musk emerges from this crucible of chaos as Trump's most ardent supporter. But this isn't just lip service. Musk doesn't just tweet his support, he bankrolls it. He becomes Trump's largest individual financial backer, pledging to make regular, substantial contributions to a pro-Trump super PAC. The sums involved are frankly obscene. By December 2024, the reported figure reaches a staggering $277 million, spread across various Republican-aligned organizations. This isn't just philanthropy, it's power. Musk isn't merely donating, he's investing. He's buying influence, access, and a seat at the table in a potential future Trump administration. And he's not shy about it. He takes to Twitter, his digital kingdom, to sing Trump's praises. He attends rallies, basking in the adulation of the MAGA faithful. He grants interviews like the one with Fox News' Sean Hannity, where he paints Trump as a misunderstood saint, persecuted by a biased media. It's a performance worthy of a seasoned politician, a masterclass in public relations. But why? What's the endgame? Several theories abound. The ideological alignment, Musk's growing concerns about wokeness, censorship, and the perceived excesses of the left-wing establishment have pushed him closer to Trump's orbit. They share a common enemy in what they see as a stifling, overly sensitive culture. The business angle, Musk's companies, Tesla and SpaceX, operate in highly regulated industries. A friendly administration, one that's less inclined to impose environmental regulations or scrutinize his business practices, is undoubtedly appealing. The personal connection, perhaps, beneath the bluster and the bravado, there's a genuine rapport. Between these two larger-than-life personalities, they're both outsiders, disruptors, men who thrive on defying expectations. The long game. Musk is a man who thinks in decades, not election cycles. He may see Trump as a means to an end, a way to reshape the political landscape and pave the way for a future more aligned with his own vision. A long bet the Biden snub. The Biden administration has had several very public disagreements with Musk, pushing him to seek a political home elsewhere. Whatever the precise mix of motivations, the Trump-Musk alliance is a force to be reckoned with. It's a marriage of money, media savvy, and a shared disdain for the status quo. It's a partnership that could reshape American politics, business, and even the future of technology. The implications are vast. The 2024 election, Musk's financial and rhetorical support could significantly boost Trump's chances of returning to the White House. The future of tech. A Trump administration friendly to Musk could lead to deregulation, tax breaks, and government contracts that benefit his companies. The culture wars. The alliance could further polarize the political landscape, exacerbating the divisions between left and right. The role of billionaires in politics. Musk's outsized influence raises fundamental questions about the role of money in democracy and the power of the ultra-wealthy to shape public policy. The Trump-Musk saga is a modern-day epic, a story of ambition, ego, and the ever-shifting sands of power. It's a reminder that in the world of politics, anything is possible, even the most improbable of alliances. And it's a story that's far from over. The final act is yet to be written, and the ending remains tantalizingly uncertain. Will it be a triumph, a tragedy, or something in between? Stay tuned. The show is just getting started, and it has the potential to be a blockbuster or a spectacular flop. Only time will tell. Act V. Enter Doge. The Department of What now? 2025, the year of living disruptively. So, Trump is hypothetically back in the White House, and Musk is his right-hand man, his tech whisperer, his Chief Efficiency Officer. That's where the Department of Government Efficiency Doge comes in. Yes, you read that right. Doge. The origin story of Doge is a blend of political necessity and Silicon Valley swagger. Trump, ever the brand-conscious leader, renames the existing U.S. digital service to the catchy, meme-friendly acronym Doge. And who better to lead this new disruptive agency than Elon Musk, the man who wants to put people on Mars and build underground tunnels to beat traffic. In January 2025, Musk is appointed a special government employee within Doge. This designation, while sounding vaguely mysterious, essentially means he's a part-time government official with a lot of power. His mission, should he choose to accept it, and he clearly does, is to slash government spending, streamline agencies, and generally make the federal bureaucracy run like a Tesla factory. Efficient, innovative, and maybe a little bit terrifying. Musk himself describes his role as providing technical support to the president, ensuring that executive orders are actually implemented, and identifying wasteful spending. It's a vague mandate, but it gives him broad authority to poke his nose into pretty much every corner of the government. The initial actions of Doge under Musk's leadership are bold, to say the least. He reportedly uses his Twitter account because, of course, he does, to attack agencies he wants to shut down. Like USAID, there are rumors of heated confrontations in the cabinet room, with Musk clashing with more traditional government officials. He even floats the idea of putting the U.S. Treasury on the blockchain, a proposal that either makes perfect sense or is utterly insane, depending on your views on cryptocurrency and the stability of the global financial system. The official Doge website, in true Muskian fashion, is initially blank except for the slogan, "The people have voted for massive reform." It's minimalist, provocative, and leaves everyone wondering what exactly is going on behind the scenes. Underlying philosophy driving Doge is a shared belief between Trump and Musk that the federal government is bloated, inefficient, and riddled with deep state operatives who are actively sabotaging the president's agenda. They see Doge as a weapon to dismantle this bureaucracy. To drain the swamp, to borrow a phrase from Trump's earlier campaigns, Trump needs someone he trusts to wield the axe. And Musk, with his reputation for ruthlessness and results, fits the bill. Musk, in turn, gets a chance to put his ideas about efficiency and innovation into practice on the grandest possible scale. It's a symbiotic relationship, a partnership built on a shared vision of a leaner, meaner, more technologically advanced government. The stated goals of Doge are ambitious. To put it mildly, slash federal spending, cut the fat, eliminate waste, and make the government run like a well-oiled machine, or perhaps a well-coded algorithm. Streamline agencies, consolidate departments, eliminate redundancies. and break down bureaucratic silos, modernize technology, bring the government into the 21st century, and maybe even the 22nd. With cutting-edge technology, eliminate entire agencies. A radical proposal, but one that Musk reportedly embraces with enthusiasm. The formation of Doge represents a strategic convergence of Trump's political mandate for reform and Musk's business acumen and technological expertise. It's a potential game-changer, a bold experiment in government disruption. But it also raises a host of questions. Accountability. How will Musk be held accountable for his actions within Doge? Who will oversee his decisions? Transparency. Will Doge operate with transparency, or will it become a secretive, unaccountable entity? Conflicts of interest. How will Musk's role in Doge be reconciled with his extensive business interests? Effectiveness. Can Doge actually achieve its ambitious goals, or will it become another bureaucratic boondoggle? The Trump-Musk saga, now entering its most ambitious chapter yet, is a testament to the unpredictable nature of politics, the power of personality, and the enduring allure of disruption. Whether Doge will succeed in transforming the federal government or become a footnote in the history of failed reforms remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, it will be a fascinating and likely controversial ride. The story continues, and the stakes have never been higher. And the potential for both spectacular success and spectacular failure is enormous. This is, after all, the ultimate reality show, Act 6, The Ethics Minefield 2025 and beyond. Navigating the swamp of conflicts of interest. So, Elon Musk is now a special government employee, wielding significant influence over federal spending and policy. He's got his hands on the levers of power, tasked with streamlining government and cutting waste. Sounds great, right? Except there's a slight complication, or rather, a massive complication. Musk is also the CEO of several multi-dollar companies that have extensive dealings with the very government. He's now supposed to be reforming. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Tesla and SpaceX. These aren't small businesses. They're corporate behemoths with contracts from the federal government worth at least $15.4 billion over the past decade. That's a lot of taxpayer money flowing into Musk's coffers. Now Musk is in a position where he can potentially influence government decisions that directly impact his company's bottom lines. He can advocate for policies that favor electric vehicles. Good for Tesla. Or push for increased funding for space exploration. Good for SpaceX. He could, in theory, steer contracts towards his companies or cut the budgets of agencies that are critical of his business practices. The potential for self-dealing is, shall we say, significant. For example, there's that whole idea of putting the U.S. Treasury on the blockchain. Intriguing, innovative, and also potentially very lucrative. For someone with significant investments in cryptocurrency technologies, like Elon Musk, the Campaign Legal Center, CLC, a nonpartisan watchdog group, wasn't thrilled. They filed an ethics complaint against Musk, alleging that he might have pressured the FAA to use products from Starlink, a SpaceX subsidiary. It's the kind of thing that raises eyebrows even in the ethically flexible world of Washington politics. Now, technically, Musk, as a special government employee, is subject to a law that prohibits him from participating in matters that affect his financial interests. But the enforcement of that law falls to the Department of Justice, under the Trump administration, and Trump, as we know, has a somewhat relaxed attitude towards conflicts of interest. Trump himself dismisses the concerns, assuring everyone that Musk won't be allowed near anything that could create a conflict. His press secretary echoes this sentiment, promising that Musk will recuse himself from any potentially problematic situations. But ethics experts, like Katie Drummond of Wired, are skeptical. They point out that conflicts of interest are practically unavoidable. Given Musk's vast business empire and his broad mandate within Doge, the lack of transparency surrounding Doge's operations only adds to the concerns. What criteria are being used to determine which agencies are targeted for cuts? What data is informing these decisions? Is Musk's personal financial interest playing any role, conscious or unconscious? These are legitimate questions, and the answers are, at best, murky. The Trump-Musk alliance, while potentially groundbreaking in its ambition to reform government, is also walking a tightrope. It's a high-stakes gamble with the potential for both enormous benefits and catastrophic ethical failures. The core dilemma is this: can a man with such vast and intertwined business and political interests truly serve the public good? Without succumbing to the temptation of self-enrichment, can the system, even with its existing ethical safeguards, effectively prevent conflicts of interest when the lines between public service and private gain are so blurred? The answers to these questions will determine not only the legacy of the Trump-Musk partnership, but also the future of government ethics in an era of unprecedented wealth and power concentrated in the hands of a few. The saga continues, and the ethical stakes are as high as a SpaceX rocket launch. The potential for a spectacular crash and burn is just as real as the potential for a transformative success. It's a cliffhanger, and we're all waiting to see how it ends. Act 7, the Tesla roller coaster 2025 and beyond. Buckle up, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. So, Elon Musk is now a part-time government official, wielding significant power over federal spending and policy. But he's still, Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and a handful of other ventures that could potentially benefit or suffer from his newfound political clout. Let's start with Tesla, the electric car company that made Musk a household name. Immediately after Trump's hypothetical victory in 2024, Tesla's stock price soared. The market, in its infinite wisdom, decided that a Trump presidency, with Musk whispering in his ear, would be great for Tesla. The company's market capitalization briefly surpassed the $1 trillion mark, a testament to the power of investor optimism, or perhaps speculative frenzy. The thinking was simple. Musk, with his access to Trump, could lobby for favorable policies, like tax breaks for electric vehicles, relaxed emission standards, or maybe even a giant government contract to replace the entire federal fleet with Teslas. It was a rosy picture. A future filled with electric cars zipping down every highway, powered by Musk's genius and Trump's enthusiasm. But, and there's always a but in this story, reality is a bit more complicated. Professor Manmohan Sodhi from Bayes Business School, a voice of sober analysis in this whirlwind of speculation, pointed out that while Musk personally might benefit from the Trump alliance, Tesla's prospects were less certain. Trump, after all, isn't exactly known for his love of electric vehicles. He's more of a big, beautiful, gas-guzzling kind of guy. And then there's the global market. Tesla faces increasing competition from companies like BYD, a Chinese electric vehicle giant. There are also potential boycotts from consumers who are turned off by Musk's increasingly vocal political stances and his close association with Trump. In Europe, for example, reports suggest that the Trump-Musk connection is actually hurting Tesla sales. So, while the initial market reaction was euphoric, the long-term outlook for Tesla under a Trump-Musk regime is murky. It's a roller coaster ride, with the potential for both spectacular gains and devastating losses. But what about Musk's other ventures? Professor Sodhi suggests that SpaceX, Musk's space exploration company, might be in a better position to benefit from the Trump connection. After all, Trump loves space. He's talked about building a space force and sending Americans back to the moon and maybe even to Mars. With Musk whispering in his ear, SpaceX could potentially outmaneuver competitors like Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin and secure lucrative government contracts. The bottom line, the Trump-Musk alliance creates a complex web of potential winners and losers in the business world. Tesla's future is uncertain, while SpaceX might be poised for a major boost. And all of this is happening against the backdrop of ethical concerns, potential conflicts of interest, and the ever-present drama of the Trump-Musk Act 8, Birds of a Feather. 2015 present, the meeting of minds and memes. So we've established that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are, shall we say, unconventional figures. They're both disruptors, outsiders who thrive on challenging the status quo. But what exactly do they believe, and how do their beliefs align? Let's start with Musk's political evolution. He once described himself as a moderate, a centrist, even a socialist of the Democratic variety, presumably. But over time, his views have shifted, noticeably to the right. He's gone from voting for Democrats to embracing the Republican Party and, of course, Donald Trump. Musk's pronouncements on various issues reveal a growing alignment with conservative and, at times, far-right viewpoints. He's expressed support for cutting foreign aid, a skepticism of international treaties, echoing Trump's America First approach, and admiration for right-wing leaders like Argentina's Javier Milei, whose policies he sees as a potential model. For the U.S., but perhaps the strongest ideological link between Trump and Musk is their shared disdain for the deep state and the unelected bureaucracy. They both see the federal government as a bloated, inefficient behemoth, staffed by entrenched interests who are actively working against the will of the people, or at least against their will. Musk's role in DOGE, with its mission to slash government spending and streamline agencies, is a direct reflection of this shared belief. He's argued that if the administrative state resists the president's agenda, it's not a democracy, it's a bureaucratic dictatorship. Strong words, and ones that resonate deeply with Trump's base, which harbors a similar distrust of government institutions. And then there are the social and cultural issues. Musk's Twitter account, now X, has become a hotbed of controversy, with reposts from far-right and anti-migrant accounts. Building America's Future, a group backed by Musk, ran ads attacking Republican lawmakers for supporting a drug pricing program, falsely claiming it funded gender transitions for children and abortions. Musk himself has promoted conspiracy theories and made provocative statements on a range of social issues. While Musk may still claim to be a moderate, his actions and pronouncements increasingly align with conservative positions on hot-button cultural issues. This alignment, whether genuine or strategic, further solidifies his bond with Trump and appeals to the former president's core supporters. In essence, Trump and Musk are united by a shared distrust of the establishment. They both see themselves as outsiders battling a corrupt and entrenched system, a belief in limited government. They advocate for smaller government, lower taxes, and less regulation, a populist appeal. They both tap into a sense of grievance and resentment among a segment of the population that feels left behind by globalization and cultural change, a preference for disruption. They challenge everything. The Trump-Musk alliance is, therefore, not just a marriage of convenience or a transactional relationship, it's a partnership built on a foundation of shared beliefs and a common worldview. Whether this ideological alignment will translate into effective governance, or whether it will further exacerbate the divisions in American society, remains to be seen. The end, or just the beginning, the story of the billionaire and the builder, is a sprawling, multifaceted saga filled with twists, turns, and enough drama to fill a dozen reality TV seasons. It's a story about money, power, ideology, and the ever-evolving landscape of American politics. It's a story that raises profound questions about the role of billionaires in democracy, the ethics of government service, the future of technology, and the very nature of truth in the age of social media. And it's a story that is, almost certainly, far from over. The Trump-Musk alliance is a dynamic, unpredictable force, and its impact on American society will be felt for years to come. Whether that impact will be positive or negative, transformative or destructive, is a question that only time can answer. The curtain may have fallen on this particular act, but the play continues, and the audience is, whether they like it or not, along for the ride. The final verdict on this improbable partnership is still out, and the consequences will ripple through American society for decades, 2025 and beyond. DOGE's promise of a better tomorrow, dissecting the what-ifs. So, we've arrived at the what-if scenario. What if DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, against all odds, actually delivers on its ambitious promises? What if Elon Musk, the part-time government official and full-time tech visionary, manages to transform the federal bureaucracy into a lean, mean efficiency machine? Let's break down the arguments for a successful DOGE, dissecting the potential benefits as presented by its architects and supporters. 1. Fiscal irresponsibility and the slaying of the spending dragon. The argument, DOG's primary mandate, is to cut government spending. The Trump-Musk philosophy is that the federal government is riddled with waste, fraud, and abuse. They see layers of unnecessary bureaucracy, redundant programs, and bloated contracts. DOGE, armed with Musk's business acumen and a mandate to drain the swamp, will identify and eliminate this waste, saving taxpayers billions, perhaps even trillions of dollars. The mechanisms: contract cancellation. DOGE will aggressively review existing government contracts, targeting those deemed wasteful, overpriced, or misaligned with the administration's priorities. This includes contracts related to day initiatives, foreign aid seen as giveaways to other countries, and any program perceived as woke or unnecessary, program elimination. Entire government programs and agencies could be on the chopping block. Musk has openly discussed eliminating entire departments, arguing that they are redundant or ineffective. Zero-based budgeting, a potential approach where every agency must justify its entire budget from scratch each year, rather than simply requesting an increase over the previous year's allocation. This forces a fundamental rethinking of spending priorities. The potential upside, according to proponents, a smaller national debt, lower taxes, more resources available for essential government functions, like infrastructure or defense, depending on the administration's priorities, and a more fiscally responsible government overall, a leaner government that's more accountable to the taxpayer. 2. Streamlining the bureaucratic beast. The argument, the federal bureaucracy, is a tangled mess of outdated procedures, redundant processes, and excessive paperwork. DOGE will act as a digital surgeon, cutting through the red tape and creating a more streamlined, efficient government. The mechanisms, technology modernization, replacing antiquated computer systems with modern cloud-based solutions. This includes leveraging AI and data analytics to automate tasks, improve decision-making, and identify areas for improvement. Process optimization, analyzing and redesigning government processes to eliminate bottlenecks, reduce delays, and improve overall efficiency. This could involve simplifying application forms, streamlining approval processes, and reducing the number of steps required to complete a task. Workforce optimization, evaluating employee performance, identifying redundancies, and potentially reducing the size of the federal workforce through attrition or, in some cases, layoffs. The goal is a smaller, more agile, and more productive workforce. The potential upside, according to proponents, faster and more efficient government services, reduced wait times for citizens, less paperwork, and a more user-friendly experience. For anyone interacting with the government, a government that's responsive, nimble, and capable of adapting to changing needs. 3. Fostering a culture of innovation. The argument, government is notoriously slow to adopt new technologies and innovative solutions. DOGE, under Musk's leadership, will inject a dose of Silicon Valley dynamism into the staid world of Washington. Bureaucracy, the mechanisms, embracing emerging technologies, exploring and implementing cutting-edge technologies like AI, blockchain, and automation in various government functions. This could range from using AI to detect fraud to using blockchain to secure government records, public-private partnerships, collaborating with private sector companies to leverage their expertise and resources in developing innovative solutions for government challenges, creating a culture of experimentation, encouraging government employees to think outside the box, to take risks, and to embrace new ideas. A willingness to try new things, even if some of them fail, is seen as essential for progress. The potential upside, according to proponents, a government that's at the forefront of technological innovation, capable of solving complex problems in creative and effective ways, a government that's not afraid to experiment, to learn from its mistakes, and to constantly strive for improvement. A more future-proof government for transparency and accountability, the ironic promise. The argument, despite the inherent secrecy surrounding much of government operations, DOGE, under the Trump-Musk banner, promises more transparency. The public, they argue, deserves to know how their tax dollars are being spent. The mechanisms, public reporting. DOGE pledges to regularly report on its activities, its progress in cutting costs, and its successes in streamlining government. This reporting would, in theory, be accessible to the public through the DOGE website and other channels. Musk's Twitter X feed, Musk Ever, the communicator, would use his massive social media platform to provide updates, answer questions, and generally keep the public informed about DOGE's work. Whether this constitutes true transparency is, of course, debatable. There's talk of making government data and processes more accessible to the public, fostering greater accountability and citizen oversight. The details of this remain, shall we say, under development. The potential upside, according to proponents, a more open and accountable government, one that's responsive to the needs and concerns of the citizenry. Increased public trust in government and a greater sense of ownership over the way the country is run. The grand if. It's crucial to reiterate that these are the potential benefits. As presented by the architects and supporters of Doge, they represent a best-case scenario, a vision of a transformed government that is leaner, more efficient, more innovative, and more accountable. Whether this vision can be realized, given the inherent complexities of government, the entrenched interests of the bureaucracy, the ethical concerns surrounding Musk's dual roles, and the highly polarized political climate, is a question that only time can answer. The potential for unintended consequences, for unforeseen challenges, and for outright failure is significant. The Trump-Musk saga, even in this hypothetical utopian scenario, remains a high-stakes experiment, a bold and potentially reckless gamble with the future of American governance. The story is far from over, and the ending is anything but certain. The audience, the American people, are left to watch, wait, and wonder whether this improbable partnership will deliver on its promises or become another chapter in the long and often frustrating history of government reform efforts. The potential for both profound success and catastrophic failure hangs in the balance. This is, after all, the ultimate reality show, with the fate of a nation at stake. Act X, the cheerleader-in-chief 2024 and beyond. Trump's ode to Elon. So, we've established that Elon Musk is now a powerful figure in the hypothetical Trump administration, leading the charge to overhaul the federal government. But even the most powerful figures need a champion, a cheerleader, a president who constantly sings their praises. And in this case, that role is filled with characteristic gusto. By Donald J. Trump himself, Trump's support for Musk isn't subtle. It's not nuanced. It's a full-throated, all-caps exclamation point-laden endorsement repeated at every opportunity. He calls Musk a good man, brilliant, honest, and a great American. It's the kind of praise usually reserved for war heroes or beloved family pets, not billionaire tech moguls. This public backing is crucial. It gives Musk legitimacy, credibility, and, perhaps most importantly, political cover. It signals to the rest of the government, to the media, and to the public that Musk is Trump's guy, that he has the president's full support, and that any criticism of Musk is, by extension, a criticism of Trump himself. Praise Musk in the abstract. He also shows his support in more tangible ways. He publicly expresses his admiration for Tesla, Musk's electric car company, even considering buying one himself, a gesture that would undoubtedly send Tesla's stock price soaring even higher. It's a clear signal to the market and to the world that Trump is firmly in Musk's corner. The decision to appoint Musk to lead Doge, to give him the title of special government employee, is the ultimate expression of Trump's trust and confidence. It's a bold move, a gamble on Musk's ability to deliver on his promises of government reform, and it's a move that would be impossible without Trump's unwavering support. Why is Trump so enthusiastic about Musk? Several factors are likely at play. Shared ideology. As we've discussed, Trump and Musk share a common worldview, a distrust of the establishment, and a belief in the power of disruption. Political expediency. Musk is a valuable ally with a massive following and deep pockets. His support is crucial for Trump's political ambitions. Personal affinity, perhaps. Beneath the bluster and the bravado, there's a genuine connection between these two unconventional figures. They're both outsiders, rebels, men who thrive on defying expectations, the reality TV factor. Trump, ever the showman, understands the power of spectacle. The Trump-Musk alliance is a compelling narrative, a story that captures the public's imagination and keeps them glued to their screens. The reasons Trump's public support is the linchpin of the entire Trump-Musk enterprise. It provides Musk with the political capital and the authority he needs to pursue his ambitious agenda. It shields him from criticism and gives him the freedom to operate outside the traditional constraints of government. The grand finale. For now, closing parenthesis, the story of the billionaire and the builder is a sprawling, complex, and often contradictory saga. It's a story about power, money, ideology, and the ever-shifting landscape of American politics. It's a story that raises profound questions about the role of billionaires in democracy, the ethics of government service, and the future of technology, and it's a story that is almost certainly far from over. The Trump-Musk alliance is a dynamic, unpredictable force, and its long-term impact on American society remains to be seen. Will Doge succeed in transforming the federal government? Will Musk's businesses thrive or suffer under his newfound political influence? Will the ethical concerns be addressed, or will they fester and grow? Will Trump's unwavering support continue, or will the alliance eventually crumble under the weight of its own contradictions? These are the questions that will be debated and analyzed for years to come. The final verdict on this improbable partnership is still out, and the consequences will ripple through American society for decades. The audience, the American people, are left to watch, wait, and wonder. The show, it seems, will go on, and the only certainty is that it will be anything but boring and potentially world-changing. For good or for ill. The curtain falls. But the story continues. Act 11. The verdict, 2025 and beyond. The court of public opinion. So, the Trump-Musk alliance is in full swing. Doge is hypothetically slashing budgets, streamlining agencies, and generally shaking up Washington. But what does the public think? And what do the experts say? The answer, as you might expect, is complicated. The reaction to Musk's role in Doge is a mixed bag, ranging from enthusiastic support to outright alarm. Experts like Elaine Kamarck view it as an exercise in arson, a potentially destructive force unleashed on the delicate machinery of government. There are concerns about the lack of transparency, the potential for unintended consequences, and the sheer speed of the changes being implemented. Even some Republicans, normally allies of Trump, express private reservations about the policies and the methods being employed. But the pressure to publicly support the president and his powerful ally is immense. The media, meanwhile, is having a field day. The image of Trump and Musk's young son, XG Ashay, interacting at the White House goes viral, sparking a flurry of memes and jokes. Some quip that Musk is now the real power in Washington, reducing Trump to a glorified babysitter. More serious commentators raise alarms about the concentration of power in the hands of a single, unelected billionaire. Label Musk President Musk, or a shadow president, highlighting his seemingly unchecked influence over government policy. And Musk's influence isn't limited to the United States. He's also making waves in Europe, publicly supporting far-right parties and advocating for free speech, a concept that often seems to mean different things to different people. This meddling in European politics draws sharp criticism from European leaders, who worry about foreign interference and the spread of divisive rhetoric. Concerns are raised about Musk's agenda to split EU, but amidst the criticism and controversy, there's also a counter-narrative, a long-standing argument for government reform. Many experts, even those who disagree with Musk's methods, acknowledge that the U.S. federal government is often inefficient, wasteful, and in dire need of modernization. They point to bloated bureaucracies, outdated technology, and a lack of accountability. They argue that some kind of reform is necessary to improve government performance and restore public trust. The potential benefits of a more efficient government are undeniable. Economic growth, streamlining regulations, reducing waste, and fostering innovation could boost economic productivity and create jobs. Lower costs. Eliminating unnecessary spending could free up resources for other priorities, like tax cuts or infrastructure investment, better services. A more efficient government could provide better services to citizens, from faster processing times for applications to more effective responses to emergencies. Increased competitiveness. A leaner, more agile government could help the U.S. compete more effectively in the global economy. The argument, then, isn't about whether government reform is needed, but about how it should be achieved. And that's where the Trump-Musk alliance, and Doge in particular, become so controversial. The methods, the rapid-fire cuts, the reliance on a single, powerful individual, the potential for conflicts of interest, the lack of transparency, are all deeply troubling to many observers. Even those who agree with the goal of government efficiency are wary of the means being employed. The final word for now, closing parenthesis, the story of the billionaire and the builder is a cautionary tale, a political satire, and a fascinating case study in the complexities of power, money, and ideology. It's a story that reflects the deep divisions in American society, the anxieties about the future, and the enduring tension between the desire for change and the fear of unintended consequences. Whether the Trump-Musk alliance will ultimately be remembered as a triumph of innovation or a cautionary tale of hubris remains to be seen. The final verdict will be rendered by history, by the long-term consequences of their actions, and by the judgment of the American people. The saga is, in many ways, a mirror reflecting the fractured state of American politics and the ongoing struggle to define the role of government in the 21st century. It's a story with no easy answers, no clear heroes or villains, and no guarantee of a happy ending. The curtain falls, but the debate continues. The questions raised by the Trump-Musk partnership about the power of billionaires, the limits of executive authority, the ethics of government service, and the very nature of democracy will continue to resonate long after the headlines have faded, and the audience, the citizens of the United States and the world, are left to grapple with the implications, to ponder the lessons learned, and to hope that, somehow, amidst the chaos and controversy, a better future can be forged. The show may be over for now, but the real work, the work of building a more just, equitable, and effective government, is just beginning. And the outcome is far from certain. The experiment continues. Act 11, The Ripple Effect 2025 and Beyond, the World. According to Trump and Musk, the Trump-Musk alliance isn't just a Washington, D.C. power play. It's a potential earthquake with global aftershocks. The decisions made, the policies enacted, the ideologies promoted. All of these have the potential to reshape not just American society, but the world at large. 1. Domestic policy. The remaking of American government Musk's role in DOGE, with its mandate to slash spending and streamline agencies, could fundamentally alter the way the U.S. federal government operates. Programs could be eliminated, regulations could be rolled back, and the very size and scope of government could be dramatically reduced. This aligns with a broader conservative agenda. But the speed and scale of the changes, driven by Musk's move fast and break things approach, could have profound and lasting consequences for public services, social safety nets, and the overall role of government in American life. Furthermore, there is risk of Musk's business interests having a hand in policy. 2. Foreign policy, a new world order. The Trump-Musk influence extends beyond America's borders. The suggestion by Vice President-elect J.D. Vance to condition U.S. support for NATO on Europe, backing off its regulation of Musk's X platform, is a stark example of how personal and business interests could become intertwined with foreign policy. Influence might be even greater in regions where Trump has less interest, such as sub-Saharan Africa, where his Starlink satellite internet service has significant implications for communications and infrastructure. His meeting with the Iranian ambassador to the UN hints at a potential role in reshaping international relations. Perhaps outside traditional diplomatic channels, the alliance could lead to a more transactional, less predictable U.S. foreign policy, driven by a combination of Trump's America First instincts and Musk's business interests and ideological preferences. 3. Global implications. The populist wave and the techlash Musk's support for far-right parties in Europe, coupled with his anti-regulatory stance, could have significant repercussions for democratic processes and the governance of technology globally. His relationship with leaders like Argentina's Javier Milei suggests a network of influence that transcends national borders. The Trump-Musk alliance could contribute to a broader global trend, the rise of right-wing populism and a backlash against government regulation. This could have profound consequences for international cooperation, human rights, and the future of democracy itself. The legacy. A fork-in-the-road story of the billionaire and the builder is ultimately a story about the future. It's a story about the choices we make, the leaders we elect, and the kind of world we want to create. The Trump-Musk alliance represents one possible path, a path characterized by disruption, a willingness to challenge established norms and institutions, concentration of power, a consolidation of power in the hands of a few unelected individuals, ideological polarization, a deepening of the divisions within society, technological determinism, a belief that technology can solve all our problems, or at least make a lot of money. Whether this path leads to a brighter future, a dystopian nightmare, or something in between remains to be seen. The story is still being written, the consequences are still unfolding, and the jury is still out. But one thing is certain, the Trump-Musk saga is a defining moment in American history, a turning point that will shape the political, economic, and social landscape for decades to come. It's a story that demands our attention, our scrutiny, and our active participation in shaping the future. The curtain may have fallen on this particular narrative, but the real drama, the struggle for the soul of a nation, and perhaps the world, is just beginning, and the outcome is far from certain. The only certainty is that the world will be watching, and the stakes are nothing less than the future itself. Well, there you have it, the Trump-Musk alliance, a political bromance for the ages, or a recipe for, well, we're not quite sure what it's a recipe for, but it's definitely something. What do you think? Is this the dawn of a new era of government efficiency? Or are we all just passengers on a very expensive, very unpredictable roller coaster? Let us know in the comments. We read them all. And if this wild ride through the world of politics and tech billionaires left you wanting more, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Story Driven English, and share this video with your friends. Who knows, maybe Elon Musk himself will see it and tweet about it. Until next time, stay curious, and maybe keep an eye on the skies. You never know what might be launching next.